Hey, my puppy people, it's Cindy again, and I want to talk today about one of the most overlooked things in training your dog. And this is something that over the decades I have found is so crucial to dogs learning, but gets overlooked a lot. So, we're going to talk about consistency. The C word for today is consistency. So what's consistency? Consistency is making training, learning, behavior a lifestyle. It's like the difference between going on a diet or changing your eating habits. So the thing about going on a diet, as we all know, is once you stop the diet, you gain the pounds back and you go right back to where you were before or worse. The same thing with training is if you stop and you go back to how you were before, it's going to be the same or worse. So consistency is about changing or modifying your lifestyle and your behavior towards your dog, which is going to change their behavior for the rest of their life. Consistency is very important. So how do you do this? Again, it's a lifestyle change. It's not, well, I'm going to work really hard for 6 weeks and my dog's going to be great and then I get to slack off. Or I'm going to put my dog in a 4-week boot camp, let somebody else train them, spend thousands of dollars, and then when they come back to my home, I don't have to change. I don't have to do anything different. It's the dog. It's all the dog, right? No, it's us. I'm here to tell you. I'm sorry. It's you. Take responsibility, right? So consistency is about integrating, embodying these training techniques into your daily routine. So it becomes habit for you to behave a certain way. So it becomes habit for the dog to react to that and thereby them behaving a certain way. So you can't be really strict with your dog, teach them, put the boundaries in place, and then once they're really good, then go, okay, now you can jump all over me. Or now I'm going to play with you really rough, getting you excited. Because they're going to revert right back. I've seen it a million times. So I am here to encourage you to look at the training not as okay, this is a 6-week thing or this is a 6-month thing. This is our life. It's a lifestyle with your dog. And that's what I like to promote with all of my classes. And that's one reason why I do all of the classes that I do. And I have my Zen Dog program where you can come all year long to all the classes. So it's encouraging you to keep practicing and to keep proofing. Because dogs go through different stages of development. And so what they weren't doing 6 months, 3 years before, they might start doing 6 months, 6 years from now. So we want to continually proof them and we want to continually keep them consistent. Because again, if we start slacking off, they start slacking off. So that consistency is huge. And that's why I think it's really important to continue with group classes, whether it's with me or somebody else, as long as they're positive, or continuing to do it on your own. And that's why I want to empower you with all of this information so that you can do this on your own. You can make your own meetup groups. And even when you just go out with your dog on your own, you're continuing to be intentional with the training, with the learning, with the instruction, and just how you and your dog are relating to one another. So I was saying, one of my biggest pieces of homework is always, take your dog out, take your dog to lunch, take your dog to coffee, take your dog shopping with you, take your dog wherever, because it just organically, naturally keeps the socialization going. And when you're out with them, you're being intentional about what they're learning. And that's really what it is. It's the intentionality and being consistent with it. So if you did a 6-month really intensive training program and your dog was great, and you did all this with them and blah, 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 and then you didn't take them out anymore or you didn't do any of that stuff anymore, they're going to forget about it and you're going to forget about it that's the big piece of the puzzle that we forget is us. It's just about, our behavior is even more important than the dog's behavior, because it's our behavior that the dogs are responding to create their behavior. So, so consistency, continuing to take your dog out, continuing to put these things into practice. And yeah, I think a group class is really important to keep us motivated and to keep us on track. And whether or not you can do a group class, doing this on your own. And that's one reason, I'm doing all the online programs, is so you still have access to all my ramblings, and all the YouTube stuff is so you can still go, what did she say about that? I had somebody tell me the other day, she put it was so funny how she said, I just need more of you in my life. She's like, I just need more of your vibe, because it reminds me of what I'm supposed to do. So I'm here to remind you, consistency. And it doesn't have to be hard. In previous videos, I've talked about how simple it can be, but you have to do it, and you have to be intentional while you're doing it. And if you live here in Southern California, I really encourage you to check out my Zen Dog program. That's where you get unlimited access to all of my group classes, all of my events, all of my master classes, basically all the stuff that I do for a whole 12 months. So you don't have to think about, I have to commit to that class, or I have to commit to that class. You just come when you can, and you do it when you can, and you don't have to think about which ones. You just take them all. And for those of you that aren't close, or those of you that can't do the group classes in person, I am in the process of putting a lot of stuff digitally. So I want to make my Zen Dog Academy will be coming out soon, where you can still have access to the group classes. And obviously you can't meet with us in person, but you can do your own where you live, and do these same techniques, these same strategies wherever the heck you are. Or, I've had people that have done the Zen Dog program with me, and then they move someplace, and they're like, what do I do now? Well, take those classes with you. Do it on your own, for sure. So consistency, that's the word for the day, is be consistent. And that learning is lifelong. It isn't just for, a boot camp, or, one program or one group class. It's for life. Your dog is constantly learning. You're constantly learning. Behavior is constantly in flux. What do they say? The only consistency is change. And that's so true. And the older I get, the more I know that to be true. So consistency. Get yourself in a routine. Build your own habits to continue doing this with your dog. And your habits will build your dog's habits for the good. Well, if you're not doing it for the good, you're doing it for the bad. Because it's happening, whether you like it or not. They're always learning, whether they're learning what we want them to learn or not. I mean, that's up to you. And again, being intentional with it. So, consistency. Be consistent. I hope this helped. I hope you learned something. And again, thanks for hanging out with me. Till next time. Go play with your dog.